that's being discontinued, I want to go ahead and offer out some new brushes. So this set will also have a couple extra things that the Sydney brushes did not have. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to go right into my brush palette here, and I'm going to go to Effects, and I want to go to Dollface Skin Tonic. Now what the Skin Tonic is going to do is it's going to smooth out her skin a little bit. And if you can't see where it's going or you're just not sure, go ahead and select Show Selected Mask Overlay. And that'll give you an idea of about where you are masking on or painting on your effect. So it doesn't have to be perfect necessarily. So we're just going to go through here. I'm going to go through here, and then anything that you missed or anything that you kind of got a little overboard on, you can always remove later. Now, one really great thing is that you can actually run this brush more than once. Every part of the face that you're going to do does not have to have the same opacity, which is awesome. And that has always been something that I haven't liked about my Lightroom editing, whether it just be a lack of knowing that I could do that or the fact that it wasn't available before. I'm honestly not super sure. Like I said, I'm more of a Photoshop girl for the most part. There are certain things I do in Lightroom, but there are a lot of things that I do in Photoshop. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that just as it is. And as you can see, I skipped the neck, I skipped under the eyebrows, and I skipped the nose. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to erase where I don't want it, which would be in her hairline and obviously off of her face. So we're going to go just like this. I'm just going to erase that off of there, just like so. And now I'm going to go ahead and hit done. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to go back into my brushes again. And this is where the preset that we just did was, or the brush that we just did was. But I actually want to start a new brush. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just do those areas that I didn't do before. Just like so. There we go. And I'm really not one for going over the nostrils. All right, I'm going to go ahead and, whoops, let's move this out a little bit. So I want to also do her neck at the same opacity that I do her nose. And I don't want those to be just, you know, too over the top. I want those to be much, much more natural looking. And I think a big part of your retouching is making sure that you don't go over the top when it comes to the details like the nose, the neck. I think that that's where you can really see some of those mistakes sometimes. So I'm just going to go around there and whoops, sorry, I'm still on erase. Okay, let's try that again. I'll go around here and like that, and around here and like that. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right where it says Dollface Skin Tonic, and I'm going to hit this little arrow. And what that's going to do is it's going to give me full control over the opacity of the entire brush. And I'm going to bring that way down. I'm going to bring it down to about 20. So go like this and done, and that's perfect. So now we're going to look at a little before and after. So she still looks natural. She still looks like a kid because she is. She's only 9. But it just cleaned up some of those imperfections. Now, if I wanted to, I could go back to the original that we did right there, which covers the red area that just flashed at you, that right there. And I could pull that down from 91% and I could make that way less as well. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to leave it right around 60. 66. Okay, that works. So it just cleans up that skin just a little bit. So let's go ahead and go back here. And now the next thing that I want to attack is her under eye area. Now when I did her makeup, and this is my own daughter, yes, she's 9, but we did a little bit of airbrush makeup because we just were having a super fun, super fabulous session. But the problem that we had was that she was squinting her eyes when we did it. So as you can see right here and right here, she's got funky little lines going on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go with my next brush, which is going to be the under eye pop. And it's just going to help to get rid of that a little bit. Now I don't have to have it completely removed, that's fine, but I do need to get rid of it some. Now as you can see, it is also lightening the area up a little bit. So what I want to do is make sure that that does not provide too much contrast. So you can go in here and you can adjust your brushes as you need to. All right, we're just going to do that and that. Okay, and I'm going to actually do it one more time. Just like so. I'm gonna make my brush a little bit bigger. Just like that. And that also is gonna pop this area underneath a little bit. Now I'm gonna take some of that away. We're going to leave it like that because, again, she does not need to look overly retouched. So it got rid of it a little bit. Now if I want to, I can go in and I can also completely clone that out. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to move to the other side now. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do a new set here, or a new area. And just going to, like this. Very simple. But again, I want to make sure that it doesn't go too light for me. I just want to cover up that area a tiny, tiny bit. So I'm going to adjust the brush and just like that, done. So we're going to do a before and after. And it's not going to be a huge change, but it'll be just enough. So you can see that that has definitely changed that up. Just like there and there. All right, so the next thing that we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go back to our brushes and we're going to go into Eyes Have It Bright. So what this is going to do is it's very self-explanatory. It's going to literally brighten up the eyes. Just like so. Just like so. And if it's too much, go to your overall opacity and bring it down a few notches. Just like that. Very simple. We're going to leave it there and done. And then we're going to go back to our brushes one more time. And the last thing that we're going to do, and we could do, if we wanted to, we could give her a little bit of lip stain, but because of her age, we're not going to. But I will show you what would happen if we did. And obviously, you see I went a little bit over her teeth there, so I would recommend going in, grabbing the eraser, making it nice and small, and just deleting that off of there. Just like this. And we should have made that brush a little bit softer. All right, so paint that back in. Okay, so you could do that with the lips if you wanted to, or nothing at all. Totally up to you. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and I'm actually going to erase it off because I don't want that on my final image. Erase, erase. There we go, and done. All right, so let's go ahead and look at a before and after. So she still looks like a kid. She still looks totally appropriate. Everything looks good. Her eyes have a little bit of a pop to them. Her under eye circles are gone. The crazy makeup issue that we had is pretty much diminished. So that looks good overall. Now, if you wanted to, you can always go back in and you can stack things up. And when I say stack, I mean if you wanted to really pop those eyes a little bit more, you could go back to, where are we at? Eyes Have It Bright. There we go. And you could pop those eyes a little bit more. Just like that. Now, I probably wouldn't do that myself, but you absolutely could. So there you go. So that's very simple. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to move out. You know, I'm actually going to go, before I move out, I'm going to go back because that will make me crazy. Just a little too much. All right. So we're going to go back and we're going to go to Fill. And what I want to do now is I want to show you, this is our total before and after. Now that was very easy and you can get through it a lot faster if you're not explaining it as you go. But what's really great about this is she still looks totally age appropriate. She just looks brightened up, beautiful, and I love that. So the next thing that I'm going to show you is we can do one more brush, which is going to be, and we could have done blush on her. We could have done some lady liner for her eyes, but we decided not to. What we're going to do instead is going to be Super Pop. So let's go ahead and click Super Pop and I'll show you what it does. It's going to add a little bit of pop to her. We just need to bring that size up there. All right, I'm going to bring it up some more just to speed it up. We're just going to do this. And what it's doing is it's just adding a little contrast overall, a little brightening. If you don't like it, again, go in and either adjust for the opacity as a whole or go in and adjust for the image itself. So let's go ahead and just bring that exposure down a little bit. There we go. And done. And I'm going to show you before and after. So now that just popped her out a little bit more. So that is the doll face collection. There's a few brushes in there that you didn't get to see, but now I'm going to move on and I'm going to show you something else, which is our classic workflow. Now I am probably most excited about the classic workflow. And